Hey, how are you all? Good to see you again. We're back. Hopefully, I've got everything under control. Yes, I do. I was watching this storm come into Barnes something in Oklahoma. Wiped out part of their town. It's not good. Direct hit over there. So it looks like they're going to have a bad night up in that part of Oklahoma. More storms firing down south now. So it's going to be a long night for the people in that area. I can actually show you. Hold on. If I can find it. Is it this one? Let's have a look. Yeah. This one will do. Come on, StreamYard. StreamYard's so slow. Come on. Yeah, you guys could see it was a direct hit on Barnsdall. You can see the hook echo. This is the like the hook of the storm. This is where the tornado is in this ball area over the town. It was a direct hit. There's people out there now having a look, trying to save people and get people out of buildings and stuff. So I hope they're okay. I really do. It was a big tornado. They're saying it had wind speeds equivalent to EF2, EF3. So pretty brutal, especially because it was nighttime. All right. I learned some new information while we were gone. Erin Patterson will go to the Supreme Court on the 23rd of May, but that is not going to be a day that I need to go. It is a type of hearing where she's only going to be there. It's a directions hearing. So it's a specific type of hearing that it basically outlines where the case is going and notifies all the parties about it. So it'll set things like dates for the trial, for what part of the trial, what they need to do, that type of thing. So it's like a formality hearing, and it's not really something that I have to go to. But as soon as they go to like jury selection, or I think we'll probably get people brought in randomly from the community for that. But yeah, once we get into any sort of jury trial, I'll be there. We are going. I emailed the Supreme Court when we got off the air, just trying to find out if I can actually sit in the gallery or not. Don't know right now. I reckon they've got about 400 emails from people and media. They do have a media advisor, so I emailed them asking about like what my options are to be there. I'll sit outside with a sign that says, "I'm streaming to YouTube if I have to." Hey, Mamma Mia, how are you? Uda's here. Hey, Uda. You know, I saw a Reddit post the other day, right? And it was about a guy who had been in college with a girl named Uda. Same spelling as your name. I'm not going to tell you the story because it was really gross. But he says that now every time he sees the name, he yells out, "Damn you, Uda!" It was pretty, and I thought of you because you have the same name. I'll show you. I will show you. I will show you. Let's have a look. Let's all go back. Let's all go back, okay? Let's all go back. Let me try and find something that can give you like an overview, okay? Yeah, let's go back. Let me go back to like last year if I can find it. All right, here we go. From where she was arrested. Let's go back to then. Let me set this up and we can all go back and have a bit of a look at what happened earlier.
Explosive court documents have revealed Erin Patterson allegedly tried to murder her estranged husband 4 times by feeding him poisoned meals years before the mushroom tragedy. The world watching as the mother of 2 appeared in the dock for the first time, charged with killing 3 other family members. Eliza Rugg was in court.
Erin Patterson, stay-at-home mum and now an accused triple murderer. How's your client doing in custody?
She's good, thanks. I've just got to get through.
Miss Patterson's estranged husband, Simon, was still wearing his wedding ring just weeks ago. But overnight, a bombshell. His former wife had allegedly plotted to kill him a total of 4 times. And she allegedly murdered both his parents, his auntie, and attempted to murder his uncle by serving them a deadly meal containing poisonous mushrooms. It's claimed Simon pulled out of the lunch last minute. Police allege Erin attempted to murder him on 3 other occasions. Once in November 2021, and she tried again twice in 2022, in May, then September. It's alleged a 48-year-old Currumbara man became ill following meals on these dates. Erin Patterson sat calmly in the dock today, flanked by 2 guards. Police asked for a 20-week adjournment to analyse the computer equipment they seized at her home. When asked if that material was voluminous, homicide detectives nodded. Will she be fighting these charges, Mr. Duke?
It's early days and we haven't received a brief.
As Erin Patterson's criminal case progresses through the courts, the impact continues to be felt across small communities in Gippsland. 4 of the guests of that lunch were much-loved members of this church. Only one will ever return. Pastor Ian Wilkinson could become the star witness alongside Simon Patterson if the case goes to trial.
Eliza Rugg joins us now. Eliza, where is Erin Patterson tonight?
Well, Pete, now Erin Patterson has been taken into custody of corrections. You'd expect she'd be moved to a women's only prison. So that means she'll need to swap her grey jumper that she wore today for prison greens. In terms of a bail application, she didn't make one today, and that's because you can't do that in the magistrate's court. If you're charged with murder, you have to go to the Supreme Court. So no bail application today. If there isn't one made, we'll expect to see her back in court in May next year.
Okay, thank you, Eliza Rugg.
Okay, so we just caught up. If you haven't seen this case, we've been covering it for about a year, almost a year. I covered it the day it happened. I saw it in the paper and I was like, 2 people died from mushroom poisoning? What the hell is going on? And we started reporting it. That was back when I had, I used to do the Sunday night show on Web Sleuths every week. That's the only show I did. I used to do Sunday night once a week, and we started covering it on then. And then later in the year, I moved to here, and I'm on my own channel, and we go 7 days a week now, and we can cover it more in depth. But we've been covering it since the start, and we're going to see it through to the end, and it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be an interesting trial. I do want to say this, though. Mamma Mia says, I couldn't be better. My fiance of 19 years surprised me with the biggest diamond ring. Congratulations. That is awesome. It's nice to see that happen even after that period of time. It's nice to see that even long, what would you call it? Long courtships would they still end up in a marriage. That's pretty cool. I'm very, very happy for you. Very happy for you. That is good news. Hey, we need some good news rather than bad news. So I'm very happy for you. Congratulations to you and what are we going to call your partner? Mr. Mia. Mr. Mia. That's a good one. That's what we're going to call him. Well, allegedly, I don't know if it could be a girl. Could be Mrs. Mia. Who knows? Hey, we're LGBTQTIA plus friendly here. Very friendly. All right. So we don't have to go on the 23rd. She has today pled not guilty to all these charges, and they have fast-tracked her hearing to the Supreme Court. They had 2 choices. Well, they had 3, sort of. They could try and get a court date in the country court, regional court, which was like an hour and a half outside of Melbourne. It's sort of close to where she lives and where the crimes occurred. But that particular court did not have they didn't have any bookings for the time needed until like 2025. They were like, hey, we don't want to keep your client in jail for over 15 months just so she can have a court case close to home. That's not how we do things in the justice system. So she had an about face today. Her lawyer actually came to court and said, okay, hey, we're cool with fast tracking this to the Supreme Court. We're not going to have a committal mention or anything like that. We're not going to test the evidence, nothing. We're just going to go straight to trial in the Supreme Court. And the judge is like, are you sure you know what you're doing? And he's like, yep, we've discussed it with our client. She's cool. That's what we want to do. We don't want to have it here any longer. We want to go to the Supreme Court. The judge is like, all right, as long as you understand what you're doing, sure. Get out of my court. Go to Melbourne. You're not going to stay here. Yeah, so she will go to a directions hearing on the 23rd of May. What will they do at the directions hearing? It's not really a big day. There's no media reporting on that day. You can't report on it. It's against like their procedures. It's basically just to tell everyone involved in it what the next steps are. So, we're going to put this down for trial. You need to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to tell you you have to do this before this date. There can be a variety of things. It's up to the magistrate or the judge. So we won't find out until probably a little bit after. No, I don't think it's got anything to do with that. I think there's just no reporting on it because it's not part of a trial. It's just like the very first steps of it because she's never been to the Supreme Court before, right? So that judge doesn't know anything about her. So they go in there, they sort it out, they have a look at the case. Okay, how long are we going to need for this? Well, I think we might need 4 weeks, or we might need 5-week trial. When can we slot that in? Blah blah blah. I need your lawyers to do this. I need your lawyers to do that. I need the prosecution to get this done by this date. So there's no reporting on it, and you're not going to find out anything on that day anyway. But once we actually get put down for actual trial, jury gets selected, that type of thing, hey, we'll be ready to rock and roll. I will be there. I am committed to seeing this through to the end. People keep asking me if I'm going to write a book. I'm not going to write a book on this. There's probably 20 other journalists that are going to write books on it. I think there's already 2 that are already writing books right now. So I'm not going to write a book on it. That'll be a big thing. Wouldn't it be funny if she got one of the hard asses from the Supreme Court? That would be very interesting. A cookbook. What would I call it? Erin Patterson's Sunday afternoon tea book. Yes, you guys are all going to come with me to the courthouse. Helen Garner? Okay, I could. I'm not Harper's pretty though. Helen Garner. I don't even know who that is. Sorry, Potter. I'm actually going to look up who that is because I'm not sure who it is. I have no idea. I don't know any of her work. I can see what her stuff is, but I have no idea. I've never read anything from her. She is a accomplished writer. Yeah, I can't say I know any of her work, unfortunately. One of her most known works is Monkey Grip. She wrote most of it in the Latrobe reading room of the State Library of Victoria in the mid-1970s. Interesting that it's in Latrobe. Yeah, I can't say I know any of it, unfortunately. It's a bit before my time. The Children's Back and Cosmolino. Yeah, not my thing. Just trying to see if there's anything else I know of her. No, I don't know any of these. Sorry, but you're right. Maybe we could write something. Yeah, we have to be very careful. Like I was trying to explain to people the other day, you can't report like you can in America. I can't come on here like who's the fellow from the paper who does all the Chad Daybell stuff? I've got a mental blank at the moment. Who's the fellow that's always on Twitter? Hold on, he's in my Twitter. Nate Eaton. Nate Eaton from East Idaho News. I can't do what he does because you can't. You can't. Well, you sort of can, but you can't really have an opinion. You can't have anything that might. Yeah, what Sean said earlier. Where is it? So you all get. You can't get done with this. You get done with this. You get done with messing with the jury. You're in big trouble. So got to be very cautious. I can tell you. All I can tell you is what's happened. You can't have an opinion. Can't be like, oh, that bitch definitely did it. She's gonna fry for this. We're gonna get old Sparky out and put her on the death penalty. Can't say stuff like you can in America. Have to be very, very careful with it, and just make sure you report the facts and the facts only. Luckily, that's what I do. Uh, Joe's Tinker's constellation about Abu Singh who murdered her boyfriend with drugs during a dinner party in Canberra. I don't even know that one. I'll have to look that up. Darren Hinch. I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment. He's all right. He's done some good things and some bad things. He's okay. No, we don't have the death penalty here. No, there's no death penalty in Australia. Most you can get is life in prison without parole. I think they can do a like a whole life order too, but it's rarely used, I think. Yeah, no death penalty. Yeah, you just got to be really careful. It's sort of like I saw someone explain it on another show, and they were saying how in America you have like court TV and law and crime and things like that, and they'll often give their opinion about the case or how it's going, and yeah, you just can't really do that here. Most places don't have the death penalty anymore. There was a country we looked up the other day on the show, and I was so surprised that they didn't have it. And I was like, wow, I really thought they would be one that would have it. I think it was Mexico. Mexico doesn't have the death penalty, and I thought for sure they did, and they don't. They abolished it in 2005. There is no death penalty, and I was like, wow, I really thought they'd be the one country that would have it. Yeah, the last person hung was in 1968 in Western Australia, right? And he was that we've done a story on him. We've done a story on that guy. He was the serial killer from WA. They did a whole documentary on him called it's lost my mind. Hold on, I'll look it up. Yeah, it was Cook. Eric Edgar Cook. They did that documentary on him. Great documentary. Ever want to watch a great Aussie documentary? Watch the one on Cook. It is one of my favorites. And the music done by an Australian artist, she's pretty famous, was perfect for the show. I gotta remember what it's called though. Yeah, it's called After the Night. It's a really, really good documentary if you haven't watched it yet. One of my favorites. I'm pretty harsh on Australian true crime documentaries, but that was a really good one. There you go, After the Night. I think it's on Netflix in America. If I remember correctly, Netflix got the right for it in the US. Either that or Amazon. I can't remember which one. If you were in Perth, we called Cookie. The Sharknet? No, not the Sharknet. It was the one I put up. Erin Patterson's first lawyer started practice in '68. She sacked them for unknown reasons. Yeah, I don't know why she got rid of her first representation. She had another lawyer last year, and I think she had another one earlier this year too. But I don't know, she ended up with this guy, SC Mandy. She's with this guy now, and he's been the one she's had, I don't know, for the last couple of months at least. What's his name? I know his last name is Mandy. Yeah, let me find it. Yeah, Colin Mandy SC. That's her lawyer. Let's see. Here we go. This is her lawyer. Colin Mandy. That's who's representing her at the moment. He was admitted to the bar 1992. First signed bar roll 2000, and he got his silk in 2018. His division of bar roll, Victorian Practicing Counsel. He's a BA and a LLB. So he's a criminal law specialist. Before coming to the bar, in his first week at the bar, he appeared with Julian Burnside QC in the High Court of the Solomon Islands, and since then has appeared in all Victorian jurisdictions and most interstate, including murder trials in Perth, drug trials in Sydney, and trials in Brisbane and the Northern Territory. He's appeared in fraud and white-collar criminal trials. Wow, he's done a lot. I don't know if I know any of these that he's famous for, but Strickland versus CDPP, Qantas versus the Coroner's Court of Victoria. What is that? A death? Let's see what this is. This was fairly recent. This is 2022. Constantine Qantas. Okay. I don't know what that is, but I'd have to look it up. I'm not sure what that is, but it's something to do with the Coroner's Court. Apparently, Sean says apparently he's good. I wonder how much he costs, and I wonder if she's getting it pro bono or is she actually paying for it. I can't remember if she got legal aid or not. Bob Mandy. I don't know. Hey, Moonlight View. How are you? Yeah, they do. I can show you. Hold on. They do. I don't know why or how often they wear them, but they often do wear them. Let me see if I can grab this photo for you. Open image. So there you go. There's some people with wigs. I wonder if they can choose them or do the different lengths or whatever mean something. I don't know. But there you go. There's the funny wigs that everyone likes to have a look at. The ABC reporter. Yeah, I haven't heard. I know originally she sold the property in anticipation that she would have to pay her court costs, and that because of maybe the property she owns under her name, she would be required to pay her own court costs because she has the means to do so. Whether or not she is right now, I don't know. I'd have to look it up and ask. The big wigs, that's right. I don't know. Maybe it's tradition. Probably tradition. Coming from the UK system. All right. All right. I just want to check something and then we'll get going. All right, let's keep going. So there you go. There's your little update. There's what's happening with the Erin Patterson thing. So we're okay. We don't have to go in 2 weeks. We will head back. I think it's going to probably be July or August. That's my guess. I think we're going to get put down for trial somewhere around then. So my first guess of around September this year was probably going to hold firm. I think we're going to be close to that. I don't know if a house is worth $1 million, but it's worth money. It's got a good amount of money. Johnny Howard? Is it? Oh, it is too. That is John Howard. That is a previous Prime Minister of Australia, John Howard, back from the when was he in? Like in the late 90s into the early 2000s or mid 2000s. Some people liked him. I guess it's like anything in politics. Some people like him, some people don't. I couldn't care. 12. Yeah, he was around for a while. He did. He did a few good things. That's right. What was it called? Rudd 007 or whatever they had that stupid saying back then. Rudd 007 or Rudd 07 or whatever. I liked Rudd. I thought he was half decent, but he got backstabbed pretty bad. He got shut down by his own party. Okay. I have an update about something here. It says grieving. I don't want to shop Pet Barn. What are you doing to me? Stop. All right, stop. It says grieving family seeks justice for loved one shot, killed while on the job. The family said he leaves behind 2 children. 2 children, how horrible. The San Antonio Police Department said it is searching for a suspect in connection with a deadly shooting on the northeast side. The family of the victim identified him as 38-year-old Jeremiah Sendejo. They said, "Please don't tell me that you're here to tell me that my son has passed." And he just looked at me and he shook his head and said, "Yes, ma'am, I'm so sorry." And they said, "I just lost it." That was his mom. Officers responded to the shooting call just before 2 a.m. Saturday in the 6900 block of Interstate 35 North. When they arrived at a hotel parking lot, officers said they found him suffering from a gunshot wound. He didn't even see the guy come up to him. He was focused on the guy he had pinned on the ground, said a coworker. He was taken to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead. According to the SAPD's initial investigation released on Saturday, he had an altercation with an unidentified suspect. The suspect fired their weapon, striking him, and then fled the scene. The anonymous coworker we spoke to, or the news spoke to, said his girlfriend was with him at the time of the altercation. You see her trying to intervene. Just your thoughts, asked KSAT's John Barras. They said, "That's why I'm glad that they didn't get mad at you and try and shoot you," answered the coworker. As soon as he fell, she dropped to the ground and grabbed him, and he took his last breath in her arms. What a dramatic situation. It is not known yet how many suspects authorities are looking for in connection with the shooting, but they're saying the family is looking for justice, just not for Jeremiah, but for his 2 children he leaves behind. They said, "You took my son's life and you took a father from their children. He was a gentle person. He had a heart of gold. He was a singer. He was a jokester, and he was my friend." While the family awaits for an arrest, they are raising money to bury Jeremiah at the family plot in Bishop. What a sad story. No one should die at work, right? It's horrible. I hate hearing of work deaths, whether they're something like this or people get, something falls on them or they fall from a height. It's pretty bad. Let's listen to the update.
Dealing with loss. Her son shot and killed while on the job. Now the mother of a hotel security guard wants to know why. Jeremiah Sendejo killed early Saturday outside a hotel off I-35 in Eisenhower. His mother spoke to the Night Team's John Paul Barajas about the son she now mourns.
Get the away from him! I got it on camera! You!
Jeremiah Sendejo's family says this video taken early Saturday shows the last moments of his life. We're pausing it just before the 38-year-old was shot and killed while working security for a hotel near I-35 in Eisenhower.
I said, please don't tell me that you're here to tell me my son has passed. And he just looked at me and he just shook his head. He said, yes, ma'am, I'm so sorry. But yes, that's what I'm here to tell you. And I just lost it.
Sendejo's mom remembers the moment a detective gave her the news. Now she's trying to piece together what exactly happened.
He didn't even see the guy come up to him. Like, he was focused on the guy he had pinned on the ground.
A coworker asked to remain anonymous, but says Sendejo was doing his job, stopping 2 suspicious people on the hotel's property when things escalated. The coworker says Sendejo's girlfriend was there as everything happened.
You see her trying to intervene, just your thoughts?
Oh, no!
Yeah, that's what I told her. I was like, I'm glad that they didn't get mad at you and turn around and shoot you. As soon as he fell, she fell to the ground and grabbed him, and he took his last breath in her arms.
San Antonio police have not identified any suspects. And for now, Sendejo's mother wants justice, not just for her son, but for the 2 kids he leaves behind.
You took my son's life, and you took a father from their children. He was a gentle person. He had a heart of gold. He was a singer. He was a jokester. He was my friend.
All words Sendejo's co-worker echoes.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Very respectful. Never even really seen him out of character. I've never even seen him get mad.
While the Sendejo family waits on an arrest, they're also trying to raise money to bury Jeremiah at their family plot in Bishop.
If there's anything you could say to Jeremiah right now, what would that be?
I love you, and I'll see you one day, and that your children love you, and they'll see you one day.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
New this morning, San Antonio police say a woman is.
I mean, how sad. The fact that his girlfriend was there and they were just trying to stop suspicious people on the property. What do you do with that as a family? He was just trying to go to work and earn a living. I hate when that happens to people. Moonlight View says, I have a query. Why do barristers address the judge milady? I don't think I've ever heard that in Australia. Is that an Australian thing? That might be a UK thing. I've not heard that here. They normally just say your honor or... yeah, just your honor, I think. I don't think I've ever heard milady here. I think that might be a UK type of thing. Hold on, let me see. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that here. Hold on, what do you... Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so in Australia, you refer to the judge as your honor. Yes, your honor. To refer to a judge who's not present in the courtroom, you can refer to them as justice or his or her honor, but not his or her honor, Justice Smith. So you use one or the other when they're not in your presence, but when they're in your presence, you use your honor. So there you go. Yeah, I've never heard milady thing here. I think, yeah, see, even in our thing here from our judge, federal court, it says avoid the words sir or ma'am. They don't like that, apparently, here. South African. South African. South African? Yeah, it's not an Australian thing. It's not something I've ever heard here. South African. Okay. Yeah, so in Australia, I've just heard your honor, or, you know, I think that's the way they normally do it here. I think it's easy for people to remember, and, you know, judges don't get so pissy over it. Okay. That is a really horrible story. I'd like to know more about that video that we watched, though. Let's go back. Let me see if I can get that video on. It's hard to see, but if they had a camera, how come they don't get a glimpse of the freaking pet barn? Come on, pet barn.
Her son.
They don't get like a clear footage of any of the person's face, do they? In that whole, unless they're not releasing it, but let's see. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, so there. That's the person they're looking for. That's not a great. It's not a great view of them. But the fact that he died in his girlfriend's arms, that's not cool. I was trying to find that one where you see them tussling for the here. Yeah. How many people are in this shot? I can't tell. Yeah, let's go back. There's somebody here wrestling with the guy in the red hoodie. Then you have this person here in a white hoodie and jeans. Is there 4 people or just 3? There's 4 because someone's holding the camera. So that might... Is that the girlfriend? Holding the camera? Is that what they mean? I mean, they got them on video. Where did they come from? That's the thing. So this is him here. And then he gets shot. I don't know. I don't know what to think. Hayflower child. Yeah, it is a sad story, right? The fact that he died, well, I mean, he was just trying to protect the hotel, which is his job. His job is to make sure idiots aren't on the property, and that's what he was doing. Hey, Melmac, good to see you. Did you just like something on Twitter from me? Was that you? Yeah, it was you. Yeah, I saw you on Twitter. Yeah, my lord or my lady. I think that's like you guys said, a UK thing or something like that. Oh, okay. Here, Angela sent me something. Crown Court judges are usually addressed as Your Honor unless they're sitting as a High Court judge, Red Judge, or a specially designated senior judge, such as Recorder of Leads. In those cases, they're addressed as my lord or my lady. Yeah, because in the UK they have lords and ladies, and we don't have that kind of designation over here. That's a British type of thing. They have like the Lady of Cambridge and the Lord of Worcestershire and stuff. They have like those kind of people. There's heaps of them, and they're all around the UK. They're all related to royals and things like that. Some of them are just given that designation through family, and I don't know. It's not a thing in Australia, even though we are part of the Commonwealth. We are a Commonwealth country, but not everything in Australia translates to England. Ah. It's a tradition from an age where lice infestation and things made their natural hair patchy, so they wore wigs. Okay, that's interesting. I don't need a wig. I'm good. Oh, thanks, Emel. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let's keep going. That's a very sad story out of San Antonio, though. Too many people dying. Didn't we have one earlier of a dude who was shot at McDonald's as well? Too many people being shot at work. It's awful. All right, let's keep going. I got more cases for you. Who is emailing me? Okay. Stop it. My computer's playing up. Sorry. It tried to throw me out of all of our StreamYard. And I was like, don't do that. I'll have to reboot it. What? Someone sent me a story they want me to read. Who is Ryan Hawkins? Ryan Hawkins? Okay, I don't know this one, but I'll read it for you. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Let's all learn. I don't know this one.
And right now at 5 o'clock, these two people under arrest for Wednesday's road rage shooting that left a man who was deaf dead. Tonight, we speak with the family of that victim.
Wish TV brought in an expert interpreter to sit down with them. They tell News 8's Kyla Russell the extraordinary details on what they believe led up to shots being fired.
35-year-old Ryan Hawkins was killed in a road rage shooting on Wednesday. Now, his family says he was deaf and may not have heard the sound of a honk or anything going on in the road near him.
Police say road rage led to Ryan being shot. His car then veered off I-65 and into a nearby residential pond. He was ejected from the car before it landed in the water.
Of course, the initial response is, no, I don't believe it. I was just in shock.
They didn't have much information immediately, but were shocked their brother could have been involved in a road rage incident.
All we know is that Ryan was trying to speed off, like he was trying to get away.
They never knew that speeding away to safety would lead to a death sentence.
Somebody shot him. There were 3 bullets that went through the car on the driver's panel, and one of those 3 happened to be fatal.
Ryan attended the Indiana School for the Deaf, and his family wants the world to know that he was passionate about advocating for the deaf community and made it his mission.
When deaf people meet other deaf people, you just, you click instantaneously because you have, similar lives. But Ryan he just connected with everybody. He was a beautiful soul.
His family wants him to be remembered as the charismatic community connector he was. Reporting here in Indianapolis, I'm Kyla Russell.
That is the most sad story I've ever read on this channel. That is horrible. Are you serious? They shot a deaf guy? The 35-year-old was deaf and died after a possible honking incident led him to being shot, his family tells News 8. His family believes the incident led Ryan to try to speed away from the area. They say he was shot before his car veered off I-65. He was ejected from the car before it entered the pond. Officers also located bullet holes in the side of the car. Ryan was trying to speed off like he was trying to get away, according to his best friend Ben. Indiana State Police announced 2 arrests connected to the shooting Friday morning. 24-year-old Andre Brisky of Indianapolis was arrested and charged with murder and possession of a firearm for prohibited person. Shauna Rowland of Greenwood was arrested and charged with assisting a criminal and obstruction of justice. It is the most horrible story I've read this week, maybe this year. Horrible. He was just trying to get away from someone being a jerk to him, and he ended up dead. They said he died at the scene from injuries consistent with a gunshot wound, along with injuries from being ejected from the vehicle. When deaf people meet deaf people, you click instantaneously because you have similar lives, but Ryan just connected with everyone. He was a beautiful soul, his brother said. His sister Paige echoed that sentiment, saying her brother was the light in her life. Ryan attended the Indiana School for the Deaf. His brother Drew said he went on to attend university, which is the only liberal arts university. Wow, there's a university for deaf and hard of hearing students internationally. Wow, what an accomplished dude. Is it Gallaudet University is saddened by the untimely passing of Ryan Hawkins, a 2013 graduate. The university said in a statement Mr. Hawkins was an active and involved student and loyal alumnus. His sister is an alumni, and his brother is a current student. We mourn with his family and wish them peace and comfort. Just, there's so many dickheads in the world, for real. And they do crap like this and take people away from their families. Like, sometimes the sentences given out are just not enough. Like, this guy's probably going to get like 18 years in prison or whatever, and it's not going to be enough to take such a nice person like this from the world. I mean, it always compounds the fact that he couldn't hear. So maybe he couldn't even hear the guy who was honking at him or whatever. Like, it makes it so much worse. It makes it 100 times worse because he may not even known what was happening. Probably didn't even hear the firearm. He just knew he was hurt for some reason. It's not okay. I hope the community in this area comes out to show support for Ryan's family. I think it's, if we don't stick up for each other, like in incidents like this, like who will and when will we? What a horrible fucking situation. Ryan Hawkins was killed Wednesday in a road rage shooting. All right, let me look up more about this. I want to know more about Mr. Ryan. Let me see if I can find anything else. Yeah, this is the arrest one, apparently.
Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 6 o'clock, and we want to begin tonight with the 2 people who are now under arrest in connection with that deadly road rage incident on I-65.
State police say they made the arrest late last night, but as our Anna Chalker shares now, this is just one of many road rage incidents in Indianapolis this year.
The absolute key to this investigation and to bring justice to this family were eyewitness accounts of that incident.
That's why state police say they were able to make an arrest just 2 days after a deadly road rage incident. According to police, around 1:15 Wednesday afternoon, a person driving on I-65 fired shots at another vehicle. They say 35-year-old Ryan Hawkins was shot before his vehicle went into a pond. A friend of Hawkins tells 13 News he did a lot for the Indiana School for the Deaf and Gallaudet University.
And in this case, the people who called, the people who stepped up, the people who gave us little pieces of information, we were able to take those little pieces from each person and make a big picture and lead us to successful investigation.
State police say within minutes of the first 911 calls, they got a detailed description of the suspect vehicle. The department says the vehicle was not registered. Police say the arrest happened in 2 different locations. A woman turned herself in and was arrested for assisting a criminal in obstruction of justice. A 24-year-old man was arrested later in Indianapolis for murder and possession of a firearm by a prohibited person. The department says this is just one of many interstate road rage incidents they've investigated this year. State police say before 2020, there would only be around 9 road rage incidents a year. But post-pandemic, there's close to over 60 every year. State police say without eyewitness statements, they wouldn't be able to track the drivers who caused these road rage incidents. In Indianapolis, Anna Chalker.
Just calm down. Who cares if you're going to get there a minute later than you're already going to get there? Who cares? Learn to live your life properly. I mean, who freaking cares? I don't get it. I mean, we all get mad in traffic, right? But you don't pull out a gun and shoot someone else's car. I mean, just calm down. Have your little yell at the driver and move on. Dude was deaf. He wouldn't have even heard you anyway. Could have called him all the names under the sun and you would never have known. You would have felt better and you could have driven off. You wouldn't be in friggin' jail now for murder. Everyone's just got to calm down. Like they said, before the pandemic, they used to get about 6 of these per year on this particular road. After the pandemic, they now get 60 of them per year. It's like a 100% increase or something. It's crazy. They're getting like a 10-fold increase. Just calm down. I mean, what? You're going to get home 2 minutes later to eat your freaking burger. It doesn't matter. If you're late, you're going to be late anyway. Doesn't matter if you're 2 minutes more late. No, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be late, right? So just chill. You're still going to get in trouble for being late. It doesn't matter if you're an extra minute or whatever. Just it's not worth your time. And now you're going to spend who knows how many decades in prison for being stupid. And you took a nice guy from the world, somebody who did a lot of good for people with his condition. You know, he was of it. Maybe I don't know if it said in the thing, but I'm guessing he was born without hearing, and he learned to live his life, accomplished a lot, went to university, helped other people who were deaf, and you took that from the world. Like, I mean, you have to live with that for the rest of your life. That you took someone who was obviously very special, helped a lot of people, and did good. Hate people like that. It drives me crazy. Hey, Tharvi. What a selfish human being that guy was that fired into another car. Like, I just don't get it. Why pull out a gun in traffic? How much of a crackhead are you, for real? I mean, the fact he was driving unlicensed, and what was it, unlicensed or unregistered? Either one, it doesn't matter. It just shows irresponsibility. I mean, if you drive unregistered down here, the cops will pick you up in a moment. The cops down here, they have these scanners on the cars. If you drive past them and you're unregistered, they will nab you in about 3 minutes. They have these scanners, they scan rego. And if you haven't paid your rego, they'll just pull you over and they'll just canary your car. And you're gone. You won't be able to drive. You'll get like $3,000 in fines. People down here mostly don't drive unregistered because the fines are so huge. I think it's like it's over $1,000. If you drive unregistered here and you're caught, it's over $1,000. and then you'll have to get another one for whatever else the cops find, and blah blah blah, and then they'll go through your car with a fine-tooth comb, and yeah, it's not worth it. Sean says license plate recognition. Yep, they'll get you like minutes. Those cameras that scan the license plates, they're so fast. They can tell like on the other lane coming on the opposite direction if your car is paid up or not. They're very 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 quick. Oh, in the UK they take the car and you don't get it back. In Australia, the only way they do that is if you're speeding. If you're speeding in Australia and you do it more than a couple of times, they literally crush your car. I'm not kidding. They will crush your car into a cube. I am not joking. Hold on, I will show you. Here. Your car is now a cube. You have 30 minutes to pick up your cube. You know, this is what they do. They will crush your pride and joy in front of you. Look at this. That car's probably like a pretty expensive Commodore or something. And it is now flat. It is no longer a car. It is now... Oh, here, we got another one. That looks like a nice one, a Nissan or something. NSX or something. It is now becoming a cube. It is having its annual mating ritual with the red car. Oh, there goes the tires. This is what cops do down here. You speed on our roads, they take your car and they will cube it. There you go. Oh, they'll take your license down here for years down here, but they'll also crush your car. A Peugeot pancake, yeah. But there you go. You have 30 minutes to pick up your cube. Yeah, this is what they do down here. So, I don't know if they do this in America at all. Oh, look at this one. Is that a Maloo? No, it's not a Maloo. It's just a Ute, but that is not a cheap car. Bye-bye car. A lot of Holdens. Look, there's a Holden on the bottom. There's a Holden on the top. What you guys would call a GM. General Motors. But there you go. They will crush the ass out of your car. There you go. No more car. Is dead. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like they should just crush that guy that killed that deaf guy. Please enter the crushing machine. They'd put him in the car and then crush the car and then put it in the, over there. Yeah. There was actually a guy found in the car from that. I think that's probably where they got the story. They don't play down here. You get caught speeding more than a couple of times and your car ends up there. Okay, the cars get auctioned off or junkyard or recycled. Okay. All right. Yeah, so every now and then the cops here will do these little like media days, and they'll bring in all these like really pretty cars to crush them. They've done it a few times. I think South Australian police have done it too. It's like every couple of years they like to remind people, we're not joking. We really will crush the crap out of your car. So they do these little media things down here. Oh, this might have been the one I showed you guys a couple of years ago or a year ago. Was it this one? Yeah, it was. South Australian police. Here you go. I'll turn the thing off so you don't have to see. Look at this really pretty expensive SS GM Ute V8. Probably cost the owner a lot of money. And oh, they took it with the claw thing. There it goes. Oh, that's probably very painful for the owner to watch. So this guy, this was a 20-year-old L-plate driver, was convicted of driving at 253 kilometers an hour, driving in a dangerous manner, breach of learner's permit, driving in an unregistered motor vehicle, and drug driving. His vehicle was impounded, crushed into scrap, and sold, with the proceeds going to the Victims of Crime Compensation Fund. They could have just sold the car and probably given the compensation fund more money. Oh, look, it cubed it. Look, there it is. Your ute is now a cube. You can collect your cube between the hours of 2 and 5 p.m. on Thursday. It really is a cube. He's like, yeah, it's a great cube. There you go. So that they do often have these media days down here and crush them. UK had a show called Clampers. I don't remember that one. Oh, is that the one where they go around the city like clamping cars? I think I do remember that one actually. Yeah, so they don't care how much you paid for it. They don't care what the deal is. You get done doing whatever and it breaks the laws down here, they just crush your car. All right. Let's keep going. That was a very sad story about Mr. Hawkins, and they're the ones I hate seeing on true crime. You know, especially marginalized people, like someone who's deaf, they already have a hard enough life, right? They don't need more people, you know, making their life any harder. Should be supporting them, not making their life harder. And this loser, what's his name? Andre Brisky, 24-year-old Andre Brisky of Indianapolis. Let me see if I can find a photo of this guy. Aha, there it is. I think we saw it on the video anyway. Thought that was a guy for a second. I was like, oh, there was two guys, but no, it was a guy and a girl. There you go. Shauna Rowland and Andre Brisky. Yeah. Enjoy prison. Enjoy prison. That's all I can say. Enjoy your time behind bars. I Hate Morning says, I'd love to see a sovereign citizens start to go through the deportation process. They're a bit weird, right? Have you guys seen what happens in Australia when the sovereign citizen people try to use all that wording and that on police down here? The police just literally bash in their window and pull them out the car. Does that happen in America? I don't know. But in Australia, it does. You try and talk to a cop and say, oh, my car is a, what do they call it? Oh, it's not a contract, and your laws don't apply to me because I'm a registered entity or whatever. The cops will just smash in your window and pull you out the car. They really just, they don't have time for it. Ping, did you hear about the case about the woman who was attempting to kill her military husband? Yeah, we did that story. Yeah. We did that story about a month ago. Yes. Yeah. They moved from Germany, right? They moved from Germany to Arizona. And when he got back to Arizona, he started recording her poisoning him. And I think he finally got the evidence, the cops, because he went to the cops the first time. And the cops were like, it's not quite enough evidence. So he went back and got like 8 cameras and recorded her doing it. And yeah, she got arrested and charged with, I can't remember what she was charged with, something like attempted murder or something, or poisoning with chemical or something. But yeah, we did actually do that one. But there's one someone told me about a case. Where is it? Something about a church guy, and they had a vigil. I'm trying to find it. Someone sent it to me before. There was like a church dude and his wife apparently committed S word. Now the family's saying, we don't think it is, and we'd like it to be investigated a little more. Hold on, I'll find it. Where is it? Maybe it's up here somewhere. Here. Her name is Mika Miller. Mika Miller. This one. The pastor's wife, Mika Miller's cause of death revealed. Medical examiner confirms 30-year-old died from self-inflicted gunshot wound. I know her family was really not. They thought something else was going on. They said pastor's wife, Mika Miller, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound days after filing for divorce from her husband, John Paul Miller. She was found dead at Lumbee River State Park, North Carolina on April 27, weeks after she shared a video speaking about abuse within marriage as claims emerged she was being harassed and was afraid for her life. In the days after her death, her friends and family held a rally calling for justice for Mika. I hope it is Mika and not Micah, but outside the Solid Rock Church where Pastor Miller, 44, works. The pastor stunned his congregation last week when, after a service in which he had laughed and appeared entirely at ease, he announced that his wife had died and that her death was self-induced. On Monday, Robeson County Medical Examiner Dr. Richard Johnson told ABC, based on the nature of the wound, that it is consistent with a self-inflicted gunshot wound and that it was not in the back of the head as had been speculated. Weeks before she died, she posted an emotional video in which she spoke of abuse within marriage and offered support to anyone struggling with leaving a dangerous situation because they think God will be mad at them. God will not be mad at you. God will be happy that you are happy. There you go. God wants you to be happy and be a good person. If you have to leave a marriage to do that, that's what you have to do. Listen to Ping. It says here, today my heart's a little heavy. I've had lots of women that have reached out to me about situations of abuse. And I just want to tell you what a lot of people have told me lately because I think I forget. I know something about being the bride of Christ before anyone else is man or female. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Abuse is abuse. It's a very churchy message, but it is true. On Monday, before her cause of death was announced, ABC reported that she had filed police reports against a man whose name was redacted in the reports in March, accusing him of harassing her. She had told officers she was afraid for her life, had found tracking devices on her car, and her tires had been repeatedly deflated. It all adds up to being very suspicious, but how do you go against a medical examiner? It's hard. Yeah, let's listen to his sermon thing here.
We're not going to do an altar call today. Instead, I'm going to have you stand up and I'm going to make an announcement. And after the announcement, I'm going to ask that you leave church quietly and don't talk about the announcement here in the building, please, if you can. So y'all can stand to your feet. Before I make the announcement, I also want to say that my request to you is that you will continue to come to church and serve and give for the next, little bit. 'Cause I don't want to I'm taking a little bit of a break and I don't want to have to worry about the church. My break may be a few days, a few weeks. I don't know. I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away. And it was self-induced and it was up in North Carolina. And we're going to have a funeral for her next Sunday here at 3 p.m. And so it's all I can, I'm just kind of going on adrenaline right now. So y'all pray for me and my kids and everybody. And y'all knew that she wasn't well mentally and that she needed her medicine that was hard to get to her. And so I'm sure there'll be more details to come, but just keep our family in your prayers. And I'm going to let Pastor Randall, Bishop, he can pray. I'll get him a microphone, he'll pray out. And if you have anything you want to share as well, I appreciate it.
Come on, let's pray. Carolina pastor may have saved the lives of his congregation when he confronted a gunman during a sermon about gun violence. Pastor Larry Wright leads Heal the Land Outreach Ministries.
Thanks. Did you say it was Mika with a long I? So Mika, like that? Okay. What the hell was that video? He was like, oh, she was a crazy bitch, and you all knew she was a crazy bitch. She needed all this medication. It was hard to find. Bro, what kind of freaking medication is hard to find for mental illness? They sell it at the freaking Walmart. It's like, they have hundreds of them. It's a weird thing to say in front of your congregation. It really is. Especially because she just died and you're just like, yeah, she was crazy. She, she, she was mental. You all knew. You all knew how mental she was. I mean, I don't get it. It's a weird thing to say, especially. And then he's saying, don't talk about it in the area outside. Don't talk about it when you go out for the coffee and tea and biscuits after the congregation. We don't want anyone, fraternizing about this topic outside. Very odd, very, very strange, and I can understand why her family is concerned and they would like a second opinion. They can ask for a second opinion, right? I'm pretty sure they can ask for another autopsy. She knew there was a misappropriation of funds through the church, and the church is not a 501(c), which is like a charity org in America. I know, it's the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard in an announcement about a loved one's death. I can't believe he said that. I mean, it's really disrespectful. It really is. And to say it like that, oh, she's crazy. You all knew she's crazy. It's like, come on, you don't want to treat her with some respect in her death. You don't want to be like, the love of my life. She died last night. I'm crushed by it. I don't know how I'm going to go on. I may need your support. I'm not as strong as I look. It could have been something like that. It's crazy. Sean said that sounds like what an ex would say to the divorce court, right? It's exactly. It sounds odd. Gavin Fisher's last 2 lives. I will, my friend, if I can. Girl on the Train book. I'm not a big reader of those type of books, but I'll take your word for it. Long I like. Ah, so Micah? Yeah, Micah. Gotcha. Keep coming to church, keep sending money. Yeah, that collection plate is awfully thin on a Sunday. You need to jiggle it a little more. He wrote that to make him look good. I don't think it makes him look good. I think it makes him look really weird. I would never say that, even if I was going through marriage troubles or whatever, and we were on the rocks or whatever. How do you desecrate her name in death in front of the whole congregation like that? It's really damaging. It really is. Yeah, he is insane. The church finally made him step down. Yeah, we'll see. Right, I do remember that one, Potter. I will have a look. I don't know who Gavin Fish is, but I will have a look. Yes, I gathered he's on YouTube. Yes. I will have a look, though. I will have a look. I promise. I can't play any of his stuff. Just like I'm sure he wouldn't come here and play my stuff. We ain't going to play that game. But I will have a look at his stuff when we get out of here. But yeah, someone sent that to me, and I know... Where's my friend Harmony? Is she in the chat? She may not be. She sent me, or I actually saw it from her Twitter. They did a vigil for her on the Myrtle Beach, and they did a vigil for her. Really pretty. Look at this. It's so nice. They put flowers in the water and things like that. It's really nice what they did for her. And they did what's this? You can't hear it, but they did they read stuff out about her and obviously read sermons and things, saying nice things for her. But look how many people turned out for her. Heaps of people. It's really nice. Lovely day except for the wind, right? Lovely day. Oh, they had the jets fly past. How cool. There you go. There's a memorial. I thought that was awesome. What do you do with a what do you do with a medical examiner who rules it as self-inflicted though? That's hard. Yeah, I've seen that in a few other cases where people suspect it's something else. It's so hard to get overturned. What? You have to type properly, my friend. I can't interpret their hair specialist ping. I don't know what that means. Ah, he's a journalist. Okay, thanks. I will definitely look it up. They're her psychiatrist. They're her okay. All right. I think we're done with that. But I will look up that Gavin Fish on his whatever YouTube, or he's a journalist. I'll look up on his news site. Yeah, I'll write it into Google. If he has something on a website, I can play it. Can't play it if it's on YouTube. Yeah, he has his own whole, thing. I can't. So, but I will have a look. I've got his website saved now. Gavin Fish, Cold Case and True Crime Investigations, champion for victims of violent crimes and their families. Yes, I will have a look at his stuff. But I can't play it because he's probably got copyright all over it. They're her psychiatrist. Yes, I got you. This was her vigil thing. Yeah. What I played to you. Yeah, that was from someone on Twitter. All right, let's move on. I will have a look at that overnight tonight, though, for you. You guys all reckon it's good? I will have a look. This might be interesting, though. Well, this will be the last one, then I got to get out of here. How do I stop this? Okay. Bloody ad blockers. They're always like, take your ad blocker off. All right. Sorry, I'm going to have to wait till this is finished. Always showing ads. All right, we have to wait for the ad to finish. But it says a man has admitted in court that he killed 4 women in Winnipeg, but his lawyers are asking for him to be found not criminally responsible because of mental illness. I'm going to play the video for you and it'll explain it better than I can. But that's a lot of women to be like, yeah, I didn't know what I was doing.
Jeremy Skibicki's mental capacity will now be the focus of his trial after he admitted to killing 4 Indigenous women back in 2022. The Winnipeg man had previously pled not guilty in the killings of Morgan Harris, Mercedes Byron, Rebecca Contois, and an unknown victim Indigenous leaders are calling Buffalo Woman.
We're super ecstatic. Exactly what we wanted. It's been all about justice for my cousin, and we're going to get it. We're going to get it, and we're going to get all 4.
Melissa Robinson is the cousin of Morgan Harris. She says the family is feeling a huge sense of relief. Her family, along with others, were seen hugging following Monday's development in court. A 12-person jury was supposed to begin hearing testimony on Wednesday, but now the Crown has agreed the trial will be heard by a judge alone, with Skibicki's mental capacity and intent now the focus. Defense lawyer Leonard Taylor says they now plan to argue Skibicki is not criminally responsible because of mental illness.
We're prepared for every eventuality. We were prepared for his lordship's ruling. We're prepared for this development. So, that's the way we stand. We're ready to go.
Brandon Trask with the University of Manitoba's Faculty of Law says in a case like this, the onus is on the defense.
Mr. Skibicki was, at the time of the offenses, was suffering from a mental disorder, and that mental disorder rendered him incapable of appreciating the nature and quality of his act, or that he was incapable of knowing what he was doing was morally wrong.
The case is scheduled to resume on Wednesday. Justice Glenn Darrell says he will still bring the jury in to explain the situation and formally discharge them.
We spoke about Skibiki before, especially in relation to those 4 women and the Buffalo woman. Remember we spoke about her about 8 weeks ago? She's a woman that they reckon that he killed, but they've not been able to identify her. She only has a jacket that they want people to look at and see if you know her. The Buffalo woman thing is a name that First Nations people gave her as a more respectful type name. They did it to give her some honor in her death. And it says here, a man has admitted in court that he killed 4 women in Winnipeg. Well, duh. But his lawyers are asking for him to be found criminally not responsible because of mental illness. I freaking hope this doesn't succeed. It says the Court of King's Bench Chief Justice Glenn Joel said Monday the question of Jeremy Skibiki's mental capacity and intent will now be the focus of the trial. The Crown agreed the trial, which was supposed to be with a jury, will instead be heard by a judge alone because of complexities with this type of defense. Concluding this matter before a jury does pose some challenges, they said. The trial is to start Wednesday. This will be interesting this Wednesday. Skibiki, 37, has pleaded not guilty to 4 counts of first-degree murder. His lawyers argued last week for the case to be heard in front of a judge alone. They said a jury would infringe on his rights to a fair trial because of significant pretrial publicity. Yeah, it's been everywhere. The lawyers also expressed concern a jury would have negative views of Skibiki using a not criminally responsible defense. They cited results from a poll they commissioned, suggesting more than half of the respondents believed it would be unacceptable to find him not criminally responsible. Yes, this is true, but that's just a fact. I can't believe his lawyer was able to pull that off. They said, we're prepared for every eventuality. We're ready to go. A finding of not criminally responsible means the accused was incapable of appreciating the nature and quality of an act due to mental disorder. The person is detained in a hospital until a review board determines they are no longer a threat to the public. Hey, if you kill and dismember 4 women over a period of time, I question whether you can sufficiently put up that defense. It says here the case dates back to 2022 when the partial remains of Rebecca Contois were found in a garbage bin and a city-run landfill. The case quickly expanded to include 3 more victims. They are the remains of Morgan Harris and Mercedes Mirren. They're at the Prairie Green landfill. Now, the reason I'm reading this is because about 8 weeks ago, we actually went through some of the report for the Prairie Green landfill, and we were looking at how difficult it was and the costs associated with it. One of the estimates for the cost to dig up the landfill where they believe 2 of the victims might be located, which I'm pretty sure it is Morgan and Mercedes, it was like $168 million and like many years. Could be 4 or more years to dig up this landfill and try and find their remains. The government put away, I think it's 50 million Canadian dollars to try and get it started. It's a lot of money, but they believe if it's doable, they want to do it and try and bring them home. And now you got a trial on Wednesday for the guy accused of killing them. This will be a very interesting trial. I don't know how much coverage there will be in Canada. Maybe Gambler can tell us in the comments whether we should expect a full court press or it's going to be pretty isolated. But yeah, we spoke about this a while ago. For people who weren't here, I can show you something a little else on it. Hold on. And then we got to go because it's very late. Let me find it. Nope, that's not it. Might be this one.
Sorrow for 4 slain women and anger at what appears to be targeted killings, including Cambria Harris's mother, Morgan.
I think it's sad that time and time again that we have to keep coming here to gather for sad circumstances like this when our family members go missing. There were 4 women found, and those women had families. They were mothers, they were cousins, sisters, and they didn't deserve that.
Morgan Harris, Mercedes Myron, Rebecca Contois, and a 4th woman police say they can't yet identify.
The last thing that we want is for this 4th victim to remain a Jane Doe.
It's always unsettling when there's any kind of a serial killing.
Jeremy Anthony Michael Skibicki faces 4 counts of first-degree murder. First charged and detained in May after police recovered Contois' remains. Now, even though they have not found the remains of the other women, police say DNA evidence links Skibicki to the deaths of Harris, Myron, and the unknown woman, all killed between March and May.
We're of the belief with the information we have right now that Skibicki acted alone.
Move it over this way a little bit more.
For months, there have been community searches for Myron and Harris. Recently, we talked to Myron's grandmother, putting up missing posters.
It's scary. We just want to find her alive.
Myron and Harris both came from Long Plain First Nation, not far from Winnipeg.
Right now, it's just really trying to figure out how we can come together to support each other.
Chief Kyra Wilson is also related to Contois.
She was also a part of my extended family. So I have connection to the 3 women that were identified today. And it's just, it's a really, really sad day.
And an angry day with renewed calls for protections for Indigenous women.
Not a day goes by that we don't ask for that. And today is why.
Others want to see this treated as a hate crime, saying the problem of targeted violence is bigger than one man.
It hasn't made the city any safer by him being off the street, because women have still gone missing and murdered since the time he's been incarcerated.
Meanwhile, from Winnipeg's new mayor, acknowledgement. Indigenous women are being failed.
As a citizen, I cannot accept that. And as a city, we must not accept that. We need to do more.
Here in Manitoba, politicians of all stripes have been saying that for a very long time with little progress.
They have indeed, Cam. Do we know anything else about the 4th victim or whether there might actually be others?
Well, the police today did release a photograph of a jacket they believe belonged to that 4th.
So the Buffalo woman, that's her jacket here. And they're asking if anyone knows anyone that had this jacket or used to wear this jacket. That's basically all they know of her. Well, publicly anyway. Publicly, they haven't released much. Maybe when we go to trial this week, we'll learn more. But right now, there's very little known about who she was. They don't have a name. They're not even sure about much more other than that, well, like I said, publicly than that. So that's it. Hey, if you want to watch a trial out of Canada, that'll be Wednesday. It'll be interesting. These ones have been missing. These ones date back to 2022. And that's why they believe they might be successful in the land search. Parramatta? Are you joking? Is this a Sean thing? Are you sure? I'll check. Are you playing jokes on me? Hold on. Is this a Sean thing? Hold on. I'm having a look. I don't see any news. Oh. Is it this? No, that's Toowoomba. Hold on. Breaking news in Parramatta. Hold on. All right. All right, I'm having a look. Hold on. All right. Oh my God. How do I? All right, guys, give me 2 seconds. I just got to figure out how to do this. Alright, we have to go back. It's a little fiddly to do this. Alright. Do this. Sorry, you have to listen to me work through it in my head. Alright, there we go. This definitely looks real. It says, Parramatta's perplexing pursuit. It's very per. It says, missing cat mystery baffles local police. They often baffle police. It says, Parramatta, Sydney, a series of mysterious cat disappearances has the local community scratching their head and clutching their catnip. They often do that. 8 beloved feline friends have gone missing from their homes in the Parramatta area, leaving their owners meowing for answers. The cats, known to be both inside and outside adventurers, vanished under puzzling circumstances from the Mr. Grumbles of Landis Street to the Siamese Lulu of Moonlight View Lane. The cases span various streets and households. Mrs. A. Connolly, a cat lover from Edinburgh Lane, shared her distress over her missing tabby, One-Eyed Joe. One moment he was lounging in the sun on the windowsill, and the next he was gone. It's a mystery fit for a feline detective novel, she claimed. Local authorities have been ferociously searching for the clues, but so far the cat's vanishing act remains unsolved. Sergeant Gambler, the lead officer on the case, reported, "We've been following a trail of paw prints, but they always seem to lead us in circles." Yes, Gambler does like to go in circles. As for the hunt for the missing moggies continue, residents are urged to keep a lookout for any suspicious cat carriers, crates, or cat-sized white vans in the area. I often see a lot of cat-sized white vans in the area. The public is also encouraged to call the police with any tips. Parramatta's cat community has been on high alert, with feline friends staying closer to home and their humans. And it says here in a quote, "I've been keeping Snowball on a leash for her own safety," said Miss Laura Thomas, a local cat owner. "It's just not worth the risk of losing her." One resident who only wanted to be identified as Sean said he'd been searching the neighborhood for the missing cats for weeks. He said, "I've been searching everywhere for the cats." He was visibly disturbed at the situation in his area and professed his love for all feline creatures. While the conspiracy theory about a serial cat killer or an underground cat show ring is abound, local authorities assure residents they are doing everything possible to bring the missing cats back home. Until then, Parramatta cat lovers can only hope for the safe return of their cherished companions. In the meantime, watch out for the mysterious meows in the night and any stray cat toys left behind in unlikely places. They said, "Have you seen these cats? If you have any information about the missing felines, please send a tip to the PPPD on the tips hotline of 132696. There's One-Eyed Joe. He's an orange DSH. Last seen 23rd of April. Mr. Grumbles, a white Persian. Looks like something out of a music video. Says last seen 25th of April. Lulu, a Siamese white and grey. Last seen 28th of April. Tinker, who's a black, brown, white, and tabby, says 29th of April. And Bella, who's a British short hair grey blue, it's 30th of April. It's very close together. We may have a serial killer. And Whitey, who's actually a black cat, seems like it's almost racist, says last seen 2nd of May 2024. And Schrodinger, that's not a pun at all, says grey black tabby last seen the 5th of May. And Callie, who's a white brown black calico, also not a pun, says last seen 6th of May. And this is the Ping's Pet Police Department. That's our shield. It's has a lot of history. There you go. We're gonna have to find that serial killer. I don't know where I'm gonna start. Gonna have to start somewhere. I don't know. We might have to go through witness lists, and there's a couple in this article we could look at. Someone named Laura and someone named Sean. We may have to go and talk to these people and see what else they know. Sean says, "Buy a bell so it warns the birds of a cat." This account, how are you? Hey Laura, what's up, my friend? Thanks, Laura. I'll talk to you after. It's all right. I don't want to say it on air. But thank you, and you're always welcome in here. Yeah, Ruby says she'll keep you updated on the case. If you or your friends have any animal crimes that you would like to report, you can report them to Ruby. She takes all reports very seriously and always keeps them somewhat confidential. Confidential until they're put on the show. Let me grab her. Come on, email. Why are you being a jerk? Ruby, you'll have to just put your... No, there we go. It's okay. I don't know what's going on. Everything's going very slow. There we go. There we go. Email Ruby with your pet crimes. Photo, a name, and a picture of the crime always helps, and people like them. Well, it might be foul play. Depends. We have to know if we have a serial killer, or yeah, or not. All right, hey, I love you all, but it is getting late in the day, and I've done about 3 hours or so of live streaming. I have to get off. I haven't even eaten yet, so I have to go try and eat something and get back to doing everything for tomorrow. Hey, I hope everyone is okay out there, and if you're in Oklahoma and that, I'm glad it wasn't as bad as we all thought it was going to be, but there was still a couple of bad tornadoes that hit head on to some places. I have no idea if I can't see the updates right now, but I hope everyone is okay down there. Actually, let me have a quick look. Did they report another tornado? Doesn't look like it. There was one. Nah. Looks like everything sort of fizzled out for now, but there was over 15 tornado reports today, and one of them hit 2 towns head on in Oklahoma. So, all right, hey, have a good sleep, everyone. I love you all very much. We'll be back tomorrow for more true crime at 9 p.m. Eastern. All right. See you later, everyone. Have fun. Have fun. Get some sleep. Don't dream about true crime. All right. Bye.